In a minute, I'll be sharing.
Okay, fine.
So I think we can begin with the prayer and everything. I'm just sharing the link. Ajay sir.
Yes, ma'am.
So already done. Can we can begin now?
Is it streaming live on YouTube as well?
Yes, sir. All set. I've already shared the link and everything. So if
So
with
can we
Vivek
just
sir's permission, if we can begin.
So we can open the videos of ours and then we can go ahead and check whether it is coming on well on YouTube as well or not. Haji? Okay, so it's getting well on YouTube, no issues, I believe. Hai na? Pareen madam, please let us see everyone if the videos of everyone is on or not. Yes. Welcome Vivek sir and Madam Ashwini. Sorry for the inconvenience. That was a technical glitch. But anyhow, thanks to Madam Rachel. So I believe Rachel ma'am, all set?
Yes, sir.
Rachel ma'am, all set?
Yes, sir. We are good to go. Please, sir.
Okay, fine. Fine enough. So with due permission of the chair, Dr. Vivek Kaushik, can we
Yes,
go
sir,
ahead
and
with the
I will
program?
be requesting Rachel ma'am to forward that link on this international group, WhatsApp group that we have made. No? So students may also start joining there.
Sir, I've already shared on the department group.
Great.
I'm sharing with the classes as well.
Classes and that group that we have made. No?
Yes, sir.
WhatsApp
On
group.
it.
Yes. Okay.
Vivek sir, should we start the program? Vivek sir?
Okay, sir, we may start.
Okay.
Please proceed.
Okay, fine. Yes, so good evening, everyone, to this yet another international seminar webinar at St. Paul Institute of Professional Studies, hosted by Department of Management. As per the SPIP's tradition, we would like to start our program with a short prayer. And for the same, I request Professor Ashwini Alexander to administer the prayer and invokes God's blessings so that we can peacefully conduct this event. On to you, Madam Ashwini.
Thank you, Ajay sir. Good evening, everyone. I would like to request everyone to please join your hands, close your eyes, and get ready for the prayer. God, the Father of heaven and earth, we bow to you with an intention to keep us safe and enlighten us all in this difficult time of pandemic. We offer to you in a special way today's program, our technical platform, our resource person, our professors, our students, and all the participants. Kindly shower your choicest bounties for the success of this program. In your holy name, Amen.
Thank you, Ashwini, ma'am. Definitely, God is going to help us for this 50 minutes of our journey with all the eminent personalities present here. Good evening, everyone. In today's international webinar, I take this privilege to introduce to you all one of the renowned researchers and a very humble academician who is renowned not only in Cambridge, UK, but a well-known name in CMR, Bangalore, and University of Bhopal, as well as Oriental University. She has delivered various lectures on human resource, international business, and spiritual management, organizational behavior in universities of Bhopal, Jaipur, and across the boundaries of our country. She is our dear professor, Professor Farheen Khurshid Khan, presently placed at Cambridge, UK. Professor Khan has completed her schooling from Indore, that is South Indian Cultural Association, followed by her MBA in International Business and Marketing from DIVV University. In her career journey, she took various lectures in the University of North Bangalore, and currently she's associated with Angela Ruskin University, UK. Apart from being a researcher and an academician, Professor Khan is a writer, a poet, and she makes beautiful paintings where the topic is nature and humanity. With all these skills, she is a blessed, balanced human being as well. Not taking much of your time, now I would request Professor Farheen Khan to take over the session. Thank you.
You are most welcome, ma'am. You are most welcome, ma'am. Please continue.
Thank you very much, Dr. Kaushik, and a big thanks to Dr. Patil for his very kind words. I'm overwhelmed, to be honest. And I would like to take the opportunity to thank first and foremost the respected principal, Sister Alice Thomas, the director, Father Simon Raj, the HD, Dr. Vivek Kaushik, and coordinator Dr. Ajay Patil for giving me the opportunity to talk here on the lovely platform of St. Paul's Institute of Professional Studies, and a very warm welcome to all the people who would be joining in the seminar. Hope you learn something from it and hope you'll enjoy it. Thank you very much. I would like to begin the seminar, which is on the topic of spirituality and management, with a small video. So could Dr. Patil help me by sharing that video, please?
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
Thank you.
I would request Professor Rachel if we are having rights to share the screen. Rachel, ma'am.
Ma'am, please share your screen now.
All right. I believe Dr. Ajay has to share the video of that story. Thank you.
Rachel, ma'am. Kindly help me with sharing the screen, please. Rachel, ma'am. Is it? Screen. Start now. I believe the screen is visible to everyone. Kindly confirm, please.
It is visible.
Yeah, we can see.
Yes, yes, we can see.
Okay, thank you.
There's a story, usually attributed to the Native American tradition, which illuminates different ways of paying attention. An elder talking to a child says, "I have two wolves fighting in my heart. One wolf is fearful, vengeful, envious, resentful, and deceitful. The other wolf is compassionate, loving, generous, truthful, and peaceful." The child asks, "Which wolf will win the fight?" The elder responds, "The one I feed." That doesn't mean we try to deny or hurt or kill the angry wolf. If we did that, we'd end up in a long battle, all the while somehow making that wolf more powerful through our hostility and fear. Hating that wolf sucks the strength right out of us. Instead, we calmly pay attention to the angry wolf and let go of believing they have the answers. If we can do that, they end up lying down next to us, no longer an enemy. We help strengthen the kind and loving wolf, giving it nourishment and support so that we can follow it. That peaceful wolf can become our steady companion and show us the way through all kinds of different life experiences. Restful or chaotic, enjoyable or disappointing experiences may come and go. but we can have a guide with us through it all. This is what mindfulness can help you do. Mindfulness allows us to see our thoughts and feelings as they are beginning. It's very powerful to know what we're feeling as we're feeling it, know what we're thinking as we're thinking it. With mindfulness, we can choose what will strengthen and bring into action, and we can choose what we'll gently let go of. We don't have to be at the mercy of old habits or old ways of thinking or old ways of being. We are empowered. It just takes practice.
Thank you very much, Dr. Patel, for helping me out with the screen share. So here, why I started with sharing this story will give you an overview where our session would be headed today. We will be talking about spirituality and management, how both are linked together, and first by understanding what does the term spirituality means, what does management means, and how they go hand in hand. Although it is a very broad spectrum, but given the time constraints, we'll just try to get an idea of what these both are and how crucial they are for us. So I would love to begin this presentation by sharing the PPT with you. I believe we are all getting used to the technological ways of teaching these days. Kindly let me know if the screen is visible to all.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you very much. So let's begin by understanding what is spirituality. Now, spirituality, as per the definition, involves the recognition of a feeling or sense or belief that there is something greater than myself, to finding that connect, that we are connected, we all are connected with something more than ourselves, to the greater being, to the wholeness, the holistic approach that we talk about. Normally, the first thing the people that have in mind when we talk about the term spirituality comes religion. Although religion is part of spirituality, but spirituality is a more comprehensive term. If you think of it as an umbrella, so the religion is one part of the umbrella, wherein spirituality is comprises of compassion, love, kindness, forgiveness, all the other factors as well, along with religion. So yes, it is a part of it, but spirituality is not synonymous with religion. Now, the quality of being concerned with the human soul as opposed to material or physical things. Here again, it poses a challenge when we talk about researches and quantifying the subject, when we are trying to assess how much spirituality is important, because it is beyond, it is a sensory belief, it is a sensory thing. You cannot quantify it, but let us understand it more in the next slides.
Excuse me, ma'am.
Yes.
Sorry to interrupt you. Have you shared any PPT with us?
Yes.
Because it is not visible, huh? It is not visible. So I think some sharing option you have to again check.
All right. Thank you very much for pointing that out, Dr. Kaushik. I'll try it again.
Hello, excuse me. Do I need to share the screen with the PPT as well, Madam Farid?
If you can do that, that would be lovely, because I tried doing that, but it is...
Okay, no issues. Just give me a second, please. I'll fix it.
Sure. Shall I try one more time? I'm not sure.
I think, ma'am, because if Fajr sir is sharing, then yeah, your screen is now visible, ma'am. It is
It
now
is
visible.
visible. All right, lovely. Dr. Ajay, I believe it got sorted out. Thank you for all the help and the confusion. Sorry about that. So I'll continue. Thank you. So, yes, now moving on to the next slide, getting a slightly more in depth understanding of what spirituality means on a superficial level, although it has many components. First and foremost is connection with the inner self. Connection with the inner self could also be referred as introspection, that is, getting to know what exactly a person, a human being, desires, the innermost desires. In today's world, if we see, most of the things are being driven by materialistic things, even in terms of education. People, students, they want to join the college, they want to earn a degree in order to secure a job, not in order to gain information or education or knowledge. So you have to introspect, you have to see what exactly you want in the long run, in the end. Then the next aspect comes regarding connection to others. That is, some people find solace in helping others, in being kind to others, in providing empathy to others, being empathetic to fellow beings. So then again, find your spiritual context. What kind of person you are, what kind of things make you happy, gives you the little joys in life. Then comes connection to the nature and environment. Somehow, in the mad rush, we have forgotten to look at the beautiful things nature has to show us. Of course, I don't say that it's always the beautiful things in the nature. It's cycle of life. Everything comes and moves, goodness and not so good things. It keeps on going, and like day and night, there is brightness and then there is darkness, but they hold value. Everything has its own value. So you have to find that connect with the nature, with the environment, and that connect with could be with man-made things also. Man-made things in the sense, being an artist, I believe painting gives me that connect with myself, to energize, to rejuvenate myself. I need to make art, make paint. Some people find that connect with music. Some people might find that connect with dance or singing or anything, as a matter of fact. But you need to find that connect. Now, why I have been talking about these things so far? Why to find that connect? Why to do the soul searching? Why to introspect? Because when we talk about the holistic concept of well being, we cannot overlook the spiritual well being, we cannot overlook the emotional well being, we cannot overlook the mental well being, and we cannot overlook the physical well being. All these things, they form a circle. Although it is a virtual circle, you cannot actually turn yourself into a circle and divide yourself into four equal parts and say this is the spiritual being, this is the physical being, mental being, or emotional being. Right. Actually, you cannot do it. But the whole concept is you cannot take one thing out of the other. You cannot say that this is spiritual well being is this part and mental well being is this part. They all are as a whole. Holistic circle, again, is the universal symbol of wholeness. That's why usually, whenever we say or signify things like that, even in the yin and yang, the energies, they also are denoted by a circle. So the Earth, the planet Earth is a circle. The solar system, everything is in the shapes of circle. The sun, the moon. So, and because everything comes back, they all rotate. The circle of life and death, the day and night, the cycle of the seasons, blooming and spring, and again, uh, so on. So when we talk about wellness and mental wellness, emotional wellness, physical wellness, it is very easy to come or take care of the physical aspect of it. To work your muscles, what do? You exercise, you jog, you swim, you run, or go to the gym to take care of your physical well-being. Mental well-being, although it has been a taboo topic for quite some time, but of late for a couple of decades or so, people are talking about mental health, coping depression, and other such issues. Emotional well-being, again, people need whatever joy or happiness you have, you need people to share with. Human beings are social animals, so you need to feed your emotional well-being as well. Now moving over to our topic, that is spiritual well-being. Like I said, in physical well-being, you need to work on your muscles, otherwise your muscles are going to get sore. Same way, the spiritual aspect and the muscles of the soul comprises of love, compassion, prayer, forgiveness. Now, when I talk about love, most of the teenagers and college going people would be more interested in this, but it is not the kind of love. It is a more bigger concept where love for the fellow beings, love for the nature, love for people around us, love for everything, compassionate, having that empathy, having to feel the pain of others, being able to feel the pain of others who are not so fortunate or maybe in not a very fortunate situation. Then prayer is like food for soul. So again, it gives you a connect to the Almighty. For some people, that is the highest level of connect. Some people, it might be some other thing. Forgiveness, again, some people find their solace in forgiveness. So find your find your spiritual muscles and work through it. Another one is patience, which again forms a part of compassion, forgiveness, love, everything. So these aspects are very important. Although if you don't work on these, they won't turn sore, but they won't give you any benefit if you don't work on them. To enjoy, to be healthy as a whole, you have to work, you have to exercise your spiritual muscles as well. Uh, I would like to give the example of Mother Teresa. She has been a very compassionate human being. She find her she found her true calling in helping others, taking care of the needy, taking care of the sick. So that was her calling. That was which gave her joy, which gave meaning to her being. So, moving on now to the next slide. Now comes the aspect where we talk about why we have been talking in a management based institute, all things about spirituality. How do we correlate these things? Basically, we don't need to. Everything is correlated. You cannot study anything in isolation. But yes, spiritual management in life and work. These days, we hear a lot of things on stress management, behavioral management, the whole lot study in management of human resource management, business studies. They all focus on catering to the needs of management, how you can manage people, how they can be happy while they are working, how you can derive, the organizations are looking for deriving optimum utilization, optimum efficiency from the people to reduce the attribution rate and to give benefits to the employees and how to retain them in the organizations for long. And people are struggling how to create a balance, work-life balance, managing the stress. Because whenever these students, when you will be joining and starting work, starting your careers, whatever field that may be, it takes a major part of your lives. So make sure you introspect and you know what makes you happy, and then you can work towards achieving that. And there it becomes much easier to manage the stress. Now, let's begin by understanding what causes stress. Any change, any change that occurs causes stress. It could be further classified into good stress and bad stress. Um, Somewhere I have read that the only person who is happy with the change is a child with a wet nappy. Rest everybody gets stressed with a change, whatever it may be. It could be a happy change, it could be a not so happy change. So yes, stress is caused by changes. Now, going back to the thinking, relating back to the video that we have seen in the very beginning, change, the good stress is, say for example, you have examination, and yeah, that little amount of stress makes you study and prepare well for your exams. But when that stress becomes too much and you allow that stress and the fear of the exams to overwhelm you, it affects you negatively to an extent where you're not able to focus on the studies and you're overwhelmed of the fear and anxiety of the examination. So remember what we saw in the beginning of the beginning video, that fear and anger, if you feed them, if you try to fight with them, they become more, they become overwhelming, and they affect you. Anger also, it affects you, it drains you out of your energy, the energy which you could have used positively in putting good use and doing more beneficial and efficient work. It stops you from doing that. So yes, we got to learn how to manage those emotions, how to take care of the fear and the anger, and devote more time to the good things, the good wolf, to feed the qualities of love, compassion, and positivity to those things. Now, how you can do that? You have to start scheduling your days. You have to start seeing. You have to start setting your goals. Here, I would like to, it just reminds me of another story of a fisherman regarding goal setting. There was a fisherman who was sitting in a boat in the middle of his own peace, quiet river, and he was doing good. He was content and he was sitting. His son has gone to a big shot B school studying management, and he comes back, returns very happy. And he tells his father, Father, I have studied all these theories and managements, and I want to start a bigger business. Maybe we can employ more people, do more fishing, and then maybe we can open up a small packaging unit where we can package these fish and start sending it around and increase our business. The father asks peacefully, okay, my son, then what next? Then the son says, yes, then we can further expand and maybe we can start exporting the product, the quality, and later we can buy a big mansion, have a fleet of workers around us, maybe have a couple of big cars and vehicles and this and that and other things. The father says, all right, my son, then what next? The son says, yeah, maybe after a while, then we grow old, maybe we can buy a big farmhouse or maybe a small island if we are able to do good enough, and then we can have our own private river or a water body, and we can relax and do fishing and enjoy our life. So the father says, All right, my son, but that's what I'm doing at the moment. Why take the long route? So sometimes what we need to see is what actually makes us happy and how do we make goals that make us achieve that happiness, that joy, those simple things in life. Again, somehow in the rush, we forget to admire the things that we have. I don't say that you don't have to be objective, you don't have to set goals, you don't have to be hardworking, you cannot go and make money. Yes, of course you can, but at the cost of what? And if it makes you happy, definitely you should. But assessing yourself, setting your goals realistically, accordingly to what you believe in, what you love doing, will help you achieve more contentment and will make your life more meaningful and will reduce whenever you're working towards your goals, which give you ultimate happiness. Your stress to achieve that reduces to a great extent. Um, Again, in the UK, one thing I observed in the education system after coming here, my kids go to the school here, and a valley walk or a nature's walk is an integral part of the curriculum. Somewhere, and during these difficult times, during the pandemic, the lockdowns, earlier it was a couple of days a week. Now they make sure that it is every single day they go for valley walks. Is this group of people will go along with the kids and they will look around and explore things in nature. They will get used to that, they will get familiar to what nature has to offer. They will just look at different things, different plants, different flowers. I honestly believe in my childhood, I have never done that. So we should take time, we should give. Again, another thing that comes to my mind is we should learn to accept the pace of things. Somewhere in today's times, we have become so rushed in our routines, in our normal lives, that we have forgotten to slow down. We need that time to time, we need to slow down. We need to look around ourselves. We need to value the things instead of just being in the mad rush. Now, what things, say for example, if you take the example of cooking, we need to find a balance. When we say a dish is perfect, there is a balance of flavors in it. It doesn't just have sweetness or savory aspect of it. There has to be a balance of flavors to be perfect. Same goes with our life. There has to be a balance of lot of things for it to be perfect or for us to be content with it. Now, say for example, gardening. I believe some point in life we should take time to know or to do some gardening. The reason being, it teaches us the factors that are in our control and the factors that are not in our control, and to be in peace with those factors as well. No matter how hard you try, once you have planted a seed, once you have put soil on it, once you have watered it, you have taken care of the conditions, if it needs a shady place or a sunlit place. Now, what happens to the seed is beyond your control. You need to be at peace with that. It'll bloom, it will germinate in its own time. It will turn into a plant in its own time. It will start flowering in its own time. It will start bearing fruit in its own time. So you need to be patient and you need to learn that you have no control over that now once your part is done. So try to be patient, be in line with, contemplate on all these things. it is okay to do less and be more. We are human beings after all. We have somewhere stopped understanding the aspect of being, to be. We're just in the rush to do something. And in the age of information boom, technological advancements, a lot of people are spending time on social media. Not that it is wrong, but to what an extent that is important. And now, how we have correlated it with management. These days, when we talk about higher level management, top level managements, and all, there has been a very interesting model suggested by Elizabeth Benzinger, also known as Benzinger's personality assessment model. In quite a lot of developed nations, also, the policy has started wherein in the interview processes, they use a combination of personality assessment models and aptitude tests, the general aptitude tests. Bearing in mind, they say that just interviewing done by one person may be biased or erroneous, human nature. So, along with the aptitude test, the abilities, aptitude tests, just like the MBA entrance, data interpretation, logical reasoning, and all, they do a personality assessment test also. Now, according to the Elizabeth Benzinger's personality assessment model, they say why the need has arisen of spirituality and in terms of workplace. They say ethics and compassion go hand in hand. Now, when you talk about work ethics, you cannot leave compassion out of it. So now, talking about certain professions like teaching, like hospitality, like medical, where compassion and understanding and being empathetic is part of the job, basically, and how you can put these things into other aspects, other professions as well. Because these are some issues. Again, the human resource management always talks about these concerns, how to make people happy, how to drive more efficiency for them, better retainment, better culture. Right now, here, when we talk about love, it is more related to the compassion and empathetic aspect of it. So, compassion in corporations, compassion in management, and all. Now, what Elizabeth Benzinger talks about in this model that previously the management aspect of businesses were controlled by rationality, by masculinity, by more of men dominant sector. But these days, these aspects are taken care of as well by the female domination. So when we talk about two parts of the brain, the left brain is more dominant, more logical, more and rational thinking, and the right brain is more dominant through feelings of compassion, through creativity, empathy, thinking out of the box kind of things. And she suggests amalgamation of both kind of work ethics is very important. So she has developed a model which comprises of four parts of the brain, where you can see mode 1 is basal left, mode 2 is basal right, mode 3 is frontal left, mode 4 is frontal right, and mode 4 is frontal left. I'll just quickly touch on these four aspects. And according to Benzinger's theory, she says that people naturally have strength only in any one part of their brains, naturally or instinctively. I might be strongly influenced by my basal left. Somebody else might be influenced by their frontal left. So instinctively, we are good in one aspect of our brains, but through efforts, through trying, through practice, other parts of the brains we can understand and we can start working on that more. So spirituality here makes us understand our basic core essence that we are good in. And of course, we can work towards the other aspects of our brain and then we can work on them as well. So we should try to find a work which helps to optimize and fully utilize the part of brain that we are uh, basically and honestly good at working with. That will give us happiness in the long run. So the basal left controls the aspect, or people who are more strong in basal left uh, are order and habit. They are more prone to do things in order and out of habit. They remember definitions as they are and things like that. The basal right mode 2 suggests the spiritual exponent, where people have more emotional tone with other people. Some people they by default have this feeling, this loving aura around them, and they form a very quick emotional connect with people. So those kind of people maybe work in more human relations department related departments well. Then the frontal right is the one which controls the metaphorical, the imaginative part of things. And people who can see the essence in pictures and metaphors and poetry and writing and imaginative things. So I believe the more artistic group goes in that side. The frontal left, the mode 4, belongs to the structural analysis, the logic, the reasoning aspect of it. So, yes, we have to, according to Benzinger, we have to find out the core instinctively, which we are good at, and then moving ahead, working on the other aspects. So, we should try to find work, we should try to find peace with what we are and work towards it. So, coming towards the end of the session, I would just love to share which I have some time back come across, is an author and illustrator, Charlie McKessie. You can follow him on Facebook if you want to. He is an illustrator based in UK. And I just love during these difficult times he has been sharing a lot of positivity and all, where it is an illustration between generally between a horse, a fox, and a boy, and some other animals keep popping in here and there. So the boy says, he is usually very upset and says everything is cancelled during these uncertain times during the pandemic. And the horse replies, love isn't cancelled. So when we see there is no hope, when we see the plans have not gone accordingly what we have thought they should, there is a better plan. We have in these difficult times somewhere slowed down from the mad rush. We have given time to ourselves. We have given time to our loved ones, our families, our relationships. We have tried to get a better meaning, understanding of our life as a whole. So, yes, there is a positive side to everything. And definitely you can and you will be able to find it. You just have to look inside. So that would be end of my session, and I would be welcoming any questions, anything somebody needs any clarification on. Your questions are most welcome. Thank you.
Yes, so it was quite a nice seminar, and the lecture was indeed very peaceful. And when we were all listening to you, so many questions came into picture. And moving on to the question answer session, now I request Professor Gagan Mittal, one of our professors, to administer the question answer sessions so that the students and the faculty members on Zoom as well as YouTube online platform can solve their queries through you. On to you, Gagan sir. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Ajay sir. Ma'am, before asking any question or before putting any question, I just want to say that your session is very fruitful and very inspiring to us. So the first question is, ma'am, how women can manage work-life balance through spirituality?
All right.
Hello, hello.
Yeah.
May I audible, ma'am? Am I
Mm,
audible?
yes. Yes, please. Thank
Ah,
you. Thank you.
ah,
It's
ah.
it's a very nice question and pretty apt as well, because I am a woman and I manage a lot of things like managing my kids, managing home, working, and I work as a professional artist as well. Now, apart from all these things, I am giving my example because I find myself in the very same situation. First and foremost thing, my family, we need to prioritize what our priorities are. We need to think about that. And then what makes me as a person happy? When I introspect, I am a person who loves to paint or be connected with nature. My paintings are also inspired by nature. So I make sure that take out some time for myself from the busy schedule. So if I am happy in my soul, I radiate that happiness around myself. I'm better able to keep my family happy, take care of the kids, and again, with that happiness and positivity, I get energized and I can devote more time and energy and efficiency in my work as well. So, first and foremost thing is introspect what makes you happy, what do you want, and then work towards it step by step. Nothing comes in one day. You have to take time, you have to plan, you have to organize as well. But then it does, slowly and eventually.
Thank you. Thank you, ma'am. One of our faculty has raised a question. It does spirituality make a difference in leadership?
I'm sorry, I couldn't hear you clearly. Could you
Uh,
please repeat?
does spirituality make a difference in leadership?
Of course, why not? Spirituality does make a difference in leadership, in finding that connect. And I could give examples of some very great spiritual leaders as well. Very own Sri Ravi Shankar. No offense to anybody who doesn't agree with him, but he has a huge following all across the globe. Why people from developed nations are who have, in terms of materialistic wealth, in terms of quality of living, they are far better in terms when we talk about the facilities that they have. They are far better than the facilities provided in developing nations. The poverty, the people living in developing nations have other things to fight for, but still, people from developed nations are coming over and seeking spiritual help, spiritual guidance from people from the Himalayas, from people like Art of Living, then other such institutions, other such leaderships. And in the past 2 decades, I have seen a huge rise in the courses and availabilities of counselors, life coaches, who, again, irrespective of what kind of work you are doing, irrespective of the type of organization you are working, they are people called life coaches whose demand have increased just exponentially. The reason being they need a leadership in their life. They need the help of a life coach who can guide them in their careers and in their lives. So, definitely, leadership is impacted by spirituality.
Thank you, ma'am. I hope she has got her answer. One of the students, Carl Johnson has asked, how does one obtain true peace? How does one obtain uh, true peace, ma'am?
Okay. A nice question and interesting one as well. That again, I believe, depends on individual definition of peace rather than, like I said, the circle of life or the circle of anything comprises of all the aspects. We cannot take out day and light and call it a cycle. It has to be in cycle. So for some people, even the darker aspect might provide them peace, depending on where their true calling is. For some people, the positive side. Some people might like day better. Some people are night owls. They like night better. I would like to give an example here. Being in India, I was the one who was like, oh, no, 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 I can't tolerate summers. Coming here to UK, I'm very much looking forward to summers. I am like, oh, I can't I can't really wait for summers to begin. I am the same person. My perception of a simple thing like climate change changed because of the place, because of the situation. Right? So you have to look inside yourself and again, what situation you are in. I used to hate summers being in India because they are so hot, they make you feel uncomfortable. Somehow, I have started liking summers being in UK because they make you feel warm. I am the same person, but your inner being and the external situations, they help you attain peace depending on at the end of the day what you want, what gives you joy. I hope that answers the question of Mr. Carl.
Surely, ma'am. Ma'am, the next question is, what is the spirituality at workplace? What is
Spiritual
the spirituality at workplace?
at workplace.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. Spirituality at workplace, like I gave the example of certain professions like teaching, like hospitals, like hospitality industry, other things, which by default look for qualities like empathy, compassion. When you go to a hospital, you expect a person is already in distress. They need that the people talk kindly to them, they listen to them, they lend a good ear to them, and they take care of them kindly. Same way in a teaching profession, I believe we all agree, we don't actually relate to teachers who have been very strict, not a good memory, who have been very strict or use different modes of punishments and all. But we do remember people who are friendly, who give us an opportunity to let ourselves out, to talk, to convey our feelings. So, spirituality in workplace comes where you are empathetic and compassionate toward your fellow beings. Even these days, in top management, people are bringing in this concept where there is a more an open conversation instead of the hierarchy of manager who is dictating all the rules and regulations and what is to be done and what is not to be done. People are keeping it more of open discussions where brainstorming is being involved, where people are allowed to keep their views, their grievances. So it is more of a teamwork. So that teamwork comes when we take care of each other, when we think about others. So that's spirituality in management and workplace.
Thank you, ma'am. One of our students, this is the last question for you. One of our students, Kashish Kukreja, she asked, I think you have already given the answer, but might be she was not here. So she asked, it's very difficult for women to manage work-life balance. For women, it's very difficult to work, manage work-life balance. So she's asking, please suggest some suggestions.
Okay. See, first and foremost thing is, why do you want to work and where do you want to work? What career choice you have made? Does it make you happy, or the motivation behind is materialistic gains? I'm not saying materialistic gains are not good. For some people, money is what makes them happy. So be it. There is no issue in it. But in the long run, you have to think, what after this? What comes next after this? And when you're talking about, I myself took some time off from work when my kids were small, because I believe that you can come back to everything, but kids grow up only once. You can reclaim your career, you can reclaim everything else again, but the kids grow up every once. That's my personal viewpoint. So I took some time off to spend some time with them, give honest time to them. And then again, you think, what makes you happy? Take out some time, make sure you take out some time doing that, because that ultimately reflects on whatever else you do for your family, do at your workplace. If you're not happy inside, that stress will eventually come out on everything else, on your work, on your quality of work, on people around you, on your family, and everywhere else. So give some time to make yourself happy and content. I hope that
Thank you.
answers
Thank,
it.
thank you, ma'am. The last question is because Carl Johnson has asked one question again, and he wants to know what does it mean to live in the present moment?
Okay, living in the present. Yes, that is actually a whole different concept of research and thesis. There are some books by which I really like, by author Eckhart Tolle, about living in the present. Most of our actions are either affected and guided by our pasts or by the future. We have forgotten to enjoy the moment. If I am, most of the people are either upset what they have done in past or what they could have done in past to be in a better situation now. And most of the people are planning for the future. Okay, let me do this, let me do that, let me plan this thing like this, and this will help me do this, that, and that. Yes, all these things are important. Introspecting your past so that you don't repeat certain mistakes. Looking forward and planning for the future so that you're not blank and you're not wasting time. But we have to realize the most important aspect is the present. That is why it is called the present, the gift, the present, because you have it today at the moment. You have to learn to enjoy. You don't have to be engrossed all the time in the past and in the future plannings. Yes, a small time of the present could be given to them, but enjoy the moment, live, realize, enjoy, have a look at the beauty around yourself, be thankful that you're alive today. So when that thing that you are able to embrace that concept, not just because I am saying or some other author has saying or some book says that, but when you truly embrace that fact, the beauty of the present, then you will realize what a present is.
Thank you, ma'am, for your beautiful answers. I think everybody has got their answers. So thank you, ma'am. Thanks for your answers.
Thank
Ajay,
you
sir.
very much. Thank you very much for everybody for being so patient. Listeners, I know at times webinars go like a bit too much, but thank you for being here.
Thank you, Gagan sir. And now, moving ahead with the program, I would like to request our respected head of the department, Dr. Vivek Kaushik, to propose a final vote of thanks. So please.
So thank you, Ajay sir. So on behalf of SWIP's management, I would be very glad to propose my vote of thanks. So this topic, first of all, I would be saying that the topic chosen is really need of our, as we know that this every human individual, mostly human individual, is becoming far away from realizing inner self, and that what is the conflict which is inside us only. Spirituality, we know that is very, very, very broad concept, and it includes a sense of connection to something bigger than ourselves, and it typically involves a search for meaning in life. So it is a universal human experience, I may say, something that touches us all. And I'm very much thankful to Fareen Khan ma'am that she has touches this topic very, very, very well. So I would extend my thanks to our our guest speaker for this webinar, for accepting our invitation, sparing her time and enlightening us with the spatial knowledge. And I will be saying that it was not just a lecture, but it was a talk. And such kind of talk we should casually do with ourselves, so that we can inspire ourselves, we can have a innate feeling of that brightness, that sun and the other light which is spreading all over in the world, which gives energy. So in the same way, it gives energy to everyone. So thanks a lot, Fareen Khan ma'am, for enlightening us and all our students. We, on behalf of all the students, also I will be extending my thanks to you. I will be heartily thankful to my department faculty members for organizing and cooperating and coordinating and tirelessly working for all the works and for concluding all that tasks very well. So this task is also accomplished very, very well. So thanks to all the members, and especially in charges, Ajay sir, and all the members who have done their duty very well, Rachan ma'am, Ashwini ma'am, Gagan sir, Stafford sir. So thanks to all. So I conclude. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Kaushik, for your kind words. And no session is complete without a feedback link. So our dear Professor, Professor Rachel Pawar will be posting a feedback link on your groups, WhatsApp groups. Okay, so you're kindly requested to fill in that, and definitely we look forward for such more sessions. So thank you, team. Special thanks to Professor Khan for conducting such a beautiful session. Rather, it's like, so it is like we wind up by 3 p.m. IST. Now it is somewhere around 5:20, and we are still relaxed and want to listen more. But like maybe some other time. So it's a nice. Thank you, everyone. With due permission of the chair, can we just wind up the session?
Sure, sure, sure. Thank you.
So the feedback link is posted in the YouTube chat box. So the members can use the link to give the feedback for the session. And I'll be sharing the link in the group as well. Thank you, everyone.
That will be fine.
Thank you,
Yes,
ma'am.
thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you.
Thank you, everyone. It's been my pleasure. Thank you. Take care.